All right, we're back, guys, but I'm gonna probably have to restart Skype. Funny enough, I can still hear Zombie Grub. Hello.
Hi.
But I can't see her. It's all broken, so we're gonna just restart this real quick. In the meantime, I guess hinO and Zest still have to find a way to play, so they haven't actually played yet. We may just end up casting that into Mana's series. In the meantime, I need to try and get Skype open. I hate this program. Alright, there we go. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It went from like... Oh no, you're frozen again.
Oh, that's actually up there now.
Oh, there. Up.
Yeah, that was...
Not gonna touch it. Not gonna touch it. Man, I'm like really tempted. Like, you guys have... Like, some people are making jokes in chat about the battlecruiser build and all that, right? You guys actually have no idea how hyped I am to see that work. Like, I'm actually half tempted to just like go donate money to Uthermal right now, just like completely independent of the tournament, no prize pool. Just be like, dude, here's like a $40 tip. That was fucking amazing. I love you. Like, because every time, like, I'm not gonna say that's gonna become the meta. I'm not even gonna say that was like an amazing build. But I see so much potential in battle cruisers. I really want to see more of them, and I want to see like pros using them, not just my terrible like Diamond Masters level crappy play, right? Like.
Yeah. But it is like... I love seeing this type of stuff because, like, you know, it's kind of like my job, I guess, basically to be like a little bit of shit, right? But for a while, you know, maybe like a year into knowing you, I really, like, was just like, no, he's like, right, like, mech does X or Y, or no, like, his weird builds are, like, actually gonna, like, beat someone, or, like, no, he'll actually beat people, right? And like people still don't believe me. They think like I'm like trolling in a different way or something, you know? Like I'm babying you, and I'm just like, no, I'm serious. Like, yeah, I could see how that would work. And when shit like that happens, I'm like, yeah, like Rifkin knows. Like, I guess this is actually what he was like. This is what he's imagining every single time he wants to see battle cruisers.
It's like this is one of those things where like I really wish we could do Archon mode and I could just be the director. Like, all right, dude, go battle cruisers. Like, it just like be like really guiding to see how pros would handle it. Again, I really want to emphasize, I don't think I'm ever going to set the meta. I don't think I'm ever going to be the guy to change the game. But I love that, at least for Terran, this is like, hey, Rifkin actually plays the game, believe it or not. I get like really passionate about like other weird, like outside the box thinking, whether it's mine or somebody else's. It's always really cool to see, and I love that sort of stuff. I super respect that sort of stuff. But we thought we might have to be waiting for Mana. Turns out hinO and Zest haven't played yet. I guess Zest was on private, so they couldn't contact him. So we're going to try and cast hinO versus Zest. Then the winner plays versus Mana. And I guess through this series, we'll find out whether it's really Zest or not. I think the assumption... I think the benefit of the doubt is that like it probably is. But, oh, hey, there's Real Jansoon in Skype. What's up, man? How you doing? Real Jansoon is the guy from Yord. Again, he might have some codes for you, he might not. I don't know. But if you guys have any questions about the watches or the deals around them, he's the man to ask. He also memes really hard, so watch out. That's dank memes.
And does dirty Protoss tricks.
Did I tell you about the letter I sent to a girl yesterday?
Does this have to do with dirty Protoss tricks?
No, it has to do with memes.
Okay.
I told her it was a love letter, so it's like what she was expecting, something awkward and cringy when she opened it. And I just wrote memes on a piece of paper to fill out both sides of the paper. Like, so top to bottom, just said memes over and over and over again.
Should have done that, like, you know, memes, turn paper around. Memes, turn paper around.
Yeah, to see more memes, turn the paper over to the other side. It's like that blonde joke, right? Like, turn over on both sides of a piece of paper. Anyways, yeah, for those who don't know, Scarlet in chat is Zombie Grub because she's currently commandeering her computer. So I'm going to put that out there as a disclaimer in case she does write anything stupid.
Too dangerous.
I have faith in you to control yourself. Just don't get me wrong. But, you know.
I am super cautious. All right. Most of us say I love butts.
All right, join off me if you would, please. We got ZVP coming up with Zest versus hinO. hinO, for those who don't know, has actually played in a couple of events we've cast. He's a Grandmaster Zerg player. He's not too shabby, but he's sadly not quite breached that like round of 8 semifinals contender spots yet.
Right. Well, things are looking pretty good for that being real Zest. It's a barcode, and it's unranked on Europe. So, it all adds up. He does need to know the word go, though. Okay, that's an English word he knows. Because one thing I learned at BlizzCon is that Zest does not know any English.
Tell me, Zombie Grub, how do you know that Zest doesn't speak any English?
Because if anyone, I feel, from any language... Well, actually, maybe that's not so true. Okay, I'll put it like this. Most Koreans who play have at least some like experience with the English language, right? Because if it talked to too many English people not to pick up some words. So when someone asked him, "Are you Korean?" I really thought he would pick up on the question. He didn't. He didn't at all. He just looked at the guy to translate for him.
I thought this was gonna be the really great bar flirting story. Never mind.
That's what started the bar flirting. Because the girl was like, "That guy's really hot," and I guess I don't even know what Zest was thinking, but she was really good looking too. So like, go for it, Zest.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, here for the Yord Would You Watch This tournament, woodwatches.com/base is the site to check out if you want to get some of these fancy-ass looking watches. In the bottom left side of Daybreak, we've got the red Zerg player. It's hinO.
In the top right has the blue Protoss. He is Zest. Zesty.
So I was kind of surprised to see the signups look as good as they were. I messaged Zombie Grub like a good 15 minutes before the cast started, and I was like, holy crap, it's not really like Zest and Stats and everybody. And points were made on Twitter about why they'd be playing. Some of them have even been playing in the Go for StarCraft just for points, not even prize money. And I guess on one part of this, it is going to be exposure if they're looking for foreign teams or anything like that, because BaseTradeTV would be the place where foreigners or foreign viewers would see them. But also, it is just this aspect of Pro League's gone, and even if Pro League wasn't gone, this is still the downtime. We actually saw this happen last year as well, where all these Kespa players had nothing to play, and so over the holiday seasons for Christmas, they were signing up and playing in a lot of our events. So I'm happy to see them actually show up and play, especially when you've got really cool dudes like Zest.
The real kicker for me will be if some of these guys still continue playing even as it draws closer to IEM. Because, it's still like 3 weeks out. They don't worry about, showing builds. But it'll tell me, like, were they worried about showing builds or was it all Kespa? But the cheese, we don't really need to talk about. Did open up the fairly early pool, but Zest opened with a fairly, safe opener. Safe as you can get on the low ground.
These probes are actually helping out a hell of a lot here. It buys enough time for that other Zealot to come out at least.
Yeah, and it's not that it hasn't done any damage whatsoever. A probe went down right there and a Zealot died, but that it did also, at least force us not to build a Nexus super quickly. He didn't, get a Nexus first and defend against the early pool, but it's still not great for hinO, who is trying to recover. I think a pretty quick, fast third base.
I do like the idea of getting aggressive versus Zest, though. You got to consider this is going to be, to an extent, I would say almost like what we saw with the Reapers through Terran, where you don't want to fight this guy late on. So you do everything you can in the early game to try and shut him down, or at least put him behind what he would normally be.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking when I saw the early pool. But if there's not much potential, I feel, in slow Ling's early pool. You'd really have to catch them either being super greedy or just mess up to actually get a ton of damage done. But
right, but for me, that brings me right back to watching Scarlet versus Super, for example, in our mod appreciation matches, won the game in 2 minutes 47 seconds flat because she killed the pylon with the early pool. So it's
true.
It's a gamble. Sometimes it will work. Sometimes it will be terrible. Kind of like, unfortunately, this instance of it. I
really miss. I never remember his name right. Life. He was doing the third alternative, I guess, to pre-raxing as an opener. He was going 13-13 as an opener, which different numbers, of course, in the Heart of the Storm, but it was just an opener, and he would control the game so well. He was so good with it. Him as an individual.
For me, that's a lot of the Korean players we've learned to love, right? Like Maru with his 2-raxing back in the day. All the Terrans right now with their 3-rax Reapers. It's the guys who open with aggression, but don't. They know how to control it and not dedicate to it.
Yeah, it was my favorite build to learn too, because I just love the feeling of control. But kind of what I was getting at was just, I don't feel like there is really the same alternative
You know, it's funny. There's like those two extremes, right? What you've just described, but then there's also like the opposite side where you get like the mech turtle builds or whatever that just bunch of cannons and storms, like slow games. And those two extremes are the ones I think fans latch onto the most. Nobody really sits there and is like, oh sweet, Polt's playing standard play. What a guy!
Some people were like so excited. They're like, the Polt build. Oh, it's the greatest.
You see how he opened with a regular amount of Marines and medevacs? Oh my god!
Yeah, the Viking was amazing. No, okay. Ling's actually trying to bust through this with Zest. Just have enough units. I mean, not that they're kind of weak and they're a little out of position, but just enough units to deal with this. He's really adding layers to his wall too, which is a little funny to see. The Lings will not be doing very much, and his build. But like speaking of standard builds, I suppose this is pretty standard, and it's. I don't want to like be like Tails had it right, because I don't think Tails does, right? Like I don't think Tails is actually gonna be the guy that everyone's looking towards. But it's so much more interesting to watch something different when this is really what Protoss were doing against Zerg. You know, even a month ago, 2 months ago.
Yeah, I mean, DTs for cheekiness are always a potential, but it's usually just the Archons and you drop them around. But the Overlord almost didn't scout that. That was actually very, like, one grid space away from not scouting it. But now, full vision on the Dark Shrine, should know what's coming his way. And unfortunately, Archons are not something you simply deal with by knowing they're coming. You have to have already gotten a certain amount of Lings and Roaches and what have you out. If you just, like, you're like, oh, cool, it's coming my way. I'm dead.
Yeah, hinO just doesn't have enough units, does he?
Is he gonna just dive the Spore Crawler? This would kind of look like
he
for
was
a moment.
thinking about it.
I think he might try and do as much damage with these as he can, and then pull them back and make them the Archons after. Yeah, look at that! Look at that pickup control.
About. Yeah, because even without the pickup control, I think the DTs would have went on against a very small amount of Lings. That's like. That's the only way I really feel. Well, no, it's one of two ways that DTs end up doing damage even after they're scouted and responded to. Is like one, you underestimate that DTs themselves have good damage, and then two, you just are out of position for whatever reason with the army units. But that was number one going down there right there. Not that hinO lost a lot, but he did lose some, and he had to respond to it. And
well,
it's
3 Archons.
Whoa, 3 Archons.
What is this?
One more that you can pick up, man.
I mean, he's gonna be playing like shuffle cups, I guess, with the Warp Prism to keep them all alive, but
shuffle cups, yeah, I guess.
It's a lot of damage. I mean,
yeah.
2 Archons is already a considerable amount. That third one has just the extra amount of splash to really shut down hordes of Lings.
Yeah, and he saw that it was Lings too, which I think is like really convinced him it was a good idea. hinO did get a Roach Warren, but even then, like, it would have been a small number of Roaches and the Archons being probably micros would have been able to probably take them on, but especially the Lings just melt, and that's
so.
It's gonna be a lot of damage.
I think most of the time you don't really give too much credit to this, but the fact that we're seeing this sort of precise micro cross server to Europe for Zest, like, okay, Zest is a good player. Objectively, that's not even a debate. But even the best players can't combat 300 MS or ping, you know. But yeah. Zest is playing pretty well around it.
Yeah, had like a little bit of cool micro at the end, but this is just It's doing a lot of damage. Zest is messing up a little bit on the macro as he just finished up his 8 gateways, though. Like, no, never mind. He completely spent 1,000 minerals right there with 8 gateways. All going into Stalkers, too. Another Warp Prism, Blink on the way. He has such a good control of this game. And he's not like leaps and bounds ahead, but control definitely in his favor. And I think that hinO's just going to fall behind, like, pacing-wise. His Larry's not done. Just getting upgrades. Although I guess Zest isn't getting upgrades either, but he took too much damage early on. I mean, he did an early pool early on, too. Like, everything combined together means that if Zest really pushes him hard, I'm not sure hinO can get enough of an army. He's going to be on pretty basic army, too. Like, not even speed roaches.
Ooh, that could sting. The force fields actually might prove to be a problem as well, because while the Ravages are here, now they have to pick and choose where they want to put the Corsair Balls. It's not just for damage. You might need to actually just straight up break the force fields. Zest backs away from this. And this is just going pretty swimmingly for the Protoss. I will say, like, hinO, I don't feel made a large amount of mistakes this game. In fact, he's been responding to this to the best he possibly could, but this is, I think, a little too out of hand. The army supplies don't reflect that right now, but again, it's the type of supply, right? This is all Roaches. That 50 supply for hinO is not actually that impressive.
Yeah. You should be like 20 or 30 army supply up, and then even like with good force field, that's still questionable. You're gonna win the fight.
Drones get pulled, possibly. Force field's almost caught him. Realizing he went back pretty quick. Ravagers missed the sentries. These Corsair Balls just aren't landing.
No, they keep on reaching really hard with those sentries, but I think that hinO just lost out in the game. Like, he was already kind of making up for the early game. He's already making up for the early game. Oh, did you not hear that?
No, what?
Oh shit, that's a great timing. The sync. Anyway, he's making up for the early game. He made up for the damage. He's trying to make up for the damage caused by the DTs, but it wasn't necessarily about the numbers here, as it still isn't about the numbers, and actually Zest being a little too forward with stalkers. It's just always been about, not getting the proper position for a Zerg player. GG.
Well, it is the best of 3, so Zest still has another game he's got to muscle through. I'm curious, if hinO doesn't open with an early pool and maybe plays a little bit more solid, does he stand a better chance? I feel like even if you're playing against Zest or Neeb or any great Protoss right now, I'm so much more convinced that you're going to get work done with Hydras than you are with anything before that tech. At least the games we've been watching, Hydras just look so abusive. They look borderline unstoppable. They are the mid-game Ultralisk to this matchup.
Mid-game Ultras. Yeah, it's true. Like, I agree. I think everyone's going to admit that Hydras have, like, a problem right now, especially against Protoss. But it is very cool, basically. Like, it's, I still, like, I feel for the Protoss and all that, but it's really cool when we see the Protosses who figure shit out, who, like, get that proper amount of aggression, or get the proper composition, and catch the Zergs as they're basically being greedy going to Hydras. So I think that hinO, maybe he isn't trying Hydras at all. Maybe he did try the ladder and he was just getting wrecked before he get a good number of Hydras. But he's trying to play it safe and just, all not going in his favor.
I feel like I would, like, hinO, I'm not, like, again, this is not a bad player. I want to make that very clear before I make this next statement. But I would love to have someone like hinO, who is vastly underrated compared to Zest, go Hydras and just, like, raffle stomp him to, like, win 3-2 or 2-1. Just show, like, hey, Buzzard, maybe if Zest is losing to this, it's not such a great situation.
I got an invite this time.
So what happened? The sink? Or someone just got some water, or what happened? Or
yeah, just the water. It was like super loud in my ear, and since the mic is literally facing that direction, I thought that you would totally be able to hear it, but
nah, you probably just like body block absorb the sounds. I don't know. I'm not calling you a big girl or nothing, Zombie, but I'm just saying, like, you're in the way. Also,
did I not get in?
Well, it hasn't started yet.
Well, like, literally, I'm pretty sure I pressed the yes button. Could be wrong. That's why it's highlighted. Okay, well, I took yours.
Yay. Anyways, we picked this match, guys. I know it was stepping back as far as like bracket progression goes, but we did want to follow this to have the winner play against Mana, and the winner of that plays against either Euthermal or Stylish, aka Alive. So this whole bracket down here actually looks pretty fantastic. That being said, I don't want to duck out on all the Zerg today. There's nerchio in the top half, who he's got to be in the semifinals, right? Like, he's just got to be. It's nerchio.
European Cup, nerchio, sounds about right.
I also really want to see what his potentially stats versus Bly in round 4. That could be another really fun one.
Yeah.
Anyways, we are back. Game number 2 in this best of 3. Spawning here in the bottom left side, it's going to be the red Zerg player, hinO.
In the top right, as the blue Protoss, he is Zest.
Now, it is worth, again, reminding you all that this tournament is put on by woodwatches.com/base, aka Yord Wood Watches. Do us a favor, check out the page. Even if you're not going to buy one of the watches, you might just luck out and get some codes throughout the course of this tournament. So maybe you'll find something you want for free or for really, really hella cheap.
These are super good watches for presents. I was going to throw it out there. It's like, I think everyone has problems finding presents. And sometimes a lot, like, the limiting factor is certainly price. And yeah, these are wood watches. They're nice and they're going to be a little pricey, I suppose. But I feel like if you're just going to be like that catch-all, like a really nice watch, it's a talking point, as you always talk about, and just like a nice addition when you actually want to dress up a little bit. I forgot to bring mine, which kind of sucks, because I wanted to look fly as hell when I was casting, but oh well. I'm just throwing it out there.
For G-Star, obviously, is what you're referring to.
No, like, I'm dressed up right now.
I was about to say, sporting that Overwatch head, you go, you're looking good.
This is as dressed up as it gets.
Did you just come from prom? Like,
yeah. I got my makeup.
Korean
everything.
prom.
Yep, I got my hair did, so it looks so beautiful.
Yeah, my favorite part is the roots and how they don't show.
This is an ombre, and it's beautiful. It's the opposite of a Trump ombre.
Okay, so hinO, this game, quick third hatchery. He's gonna play Whirlwind like it was once back in the day, and not the early. So it's basically the opposite way he did last game. That being said, will this lead to Hydras, and more importantly, will that beat Zest? Because one thing we have seen on this map so far, Whirlwind has this really nice divide where it's hard to actually catch an army in a head-on engagement. There's not a lot of places that force you. Like, if you go to the top side, they're going to go to the bottom side, and there's a lot of ways to get around each other's army.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is what the map makers did intentionally on Whirlwind, but because it's a whirlwind, oh my god, it goes like a circle, but that seems to be what happens. Like, one person goes to the north, one person goes to the south, and they both have this awkward, like, oh, I guess we gotta retreat, but maybe not, I don't know, it's too big of a map to counter. Okay? We saw a lot of that, actually, in the PvT we cast on this. I forget who it was between, but they both got maxed out, and they just literally, like, kind of walked around each other for, like, 20 minutes, and then finally, like, something happened. It was a long series, I don't remember what it was. I remember just being super tired. Because it was after, like, another 25-30-minute game.
Column A,
I was like, no, God. Anyway.
Speaking of being super tired, I don't know about you because of your sleep schedule. I'm going to be for tonight. We'll be back. That little self-advertisement here, guys. 3 a.m. Pacific for the Make Korea Great Again tournament.
Yeah.
Good times.
Which hopefully is as good as these signups. Yeah, it's funny.
I'm going to be so sad if the signups for a Korean dedicated tournament at a Korean time is worse than this European signup.
You know, we made them so tired for playing in this tournament that they can't play the other one.
Well, that's on them. They should have looked ahead. They should have, they didn't save enough room for dessert.
Yeah, exactly. For me, this is literally my daytime, so it's not even like a question of like, am I tired or not? Like, my day is literally from 3 p.m. to 7 a.m. and it's really not that bad. And 8 hours of sleep.
What time is it again? Like 3:30 or something?
It's 4 a.m. right now.
4 a.m. Say because the rest of them all went to sleep, so.
Oh, everyone else here. But yeah, I mean, they're not my sleep schedule. I mean, Rapidcast is still here because he apparently sleeps whenever he wants. Just amazing ability to have.
One thing I've loved about like when we went to Korea, they learned about Rapidcast, and like it just appears anywhere. You're like, oh, Gangnam, what's up? Oh, now you're in Busan too? Cool. Oh, Seoul again? Great. How do you keep coming to all these places?
Scarlet's house sounds about right.
Yeah. Okay, well, Sport Collar's coming down out of, I guess, safety. Good thing, too, because they'll need the detection. DT's coming in. And if it turns into the Archons afterwards, it's at least going to help block them out a little bit, but... this is so nasty to deal with. It's cool seeing Zest actually use the DTs for the DTs, though. It's one thing to just go in with the Archons right away, but by going in with the DTs like this, you get a little bit extra for it. Oh, they get a full surround on the Sport Crawler. Goes down, no detection. Oh, it feels bad, man.
It's like more of a test, like both in the case of like, what can you defend against my DTs? I guess not. Okay, I guess I win, and also just like, what do you have, and can I outmigrate them with the DTs before just going straight to the Archons? And even goes for more DTs because they're working so well.
And a Zealot for some reason.
Why not?
Maybe he didn't have enough gas and he wanted to use the warp in. I don't know, but yeah, with so many DTs coming in, the concern is there's still the micro from the warp prism. It never got low from the queens. He can still pick up and drop, but oh my god, the Lings got shredded.
Yeah,
like, do DTs do splash damage? Did I miss this update? Because that's what it looks like they're doing.
The Lings just do damage, man.
So many Zealots.
Oh,
GG. Zest will take this series 2-0. Advance on to fight against Team Liquid's Mana up next.
Nice. Oh, I forgot to tell you, man. Oh, I actually have 2 stories, but I'll show you this really.
Who is that? Top Korean caster of the day is going to be Sloza. Donating $50. This is Larry Riffking. Looking good. I love you, man. You too, ZG. Larry King, I look nothing like, just because of the suspenders, I guess, but...
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much for the $50. I think it's appreciated. I'm going to sit on that one for a little bit. Thank you, Darius, for the cheers as well. Sorry, you were going to say something before we go to commercial break.
Yeah, real quick. More cats, man. As soon as we, because they kind of live like on like a, you have to like go down like a kind of a seedy-looking alleyway. And I like literally stopped. I like grabbed Sasha because I saw 2 kittens. And I was like, don't scare them! And then she scared him anyway. When cats around my house, man. This is like what I'm most jealous about. Oh! Okay, you can go to break now.
Well, luckily they're at least all over Korea for you to still find.
Ah!
Either way, guys, we're going to go to commercial break. Thank you so much for watching. When we come back, it's going to be a PvP between Mana and Zest. We'll see you soon.